Hello, this is Buffy Hamilton, librarian at Creekview High School at the Unquiet Library. This is the first in a series of videos produced for Mrs. Frost's 9th Honors Literature Composition classes on how to cite particular information sources from the Gale Literature Resource Center. This first tutorial is going to walk students through the steps of citing the article John Steinbeck from Contemporary Literary Criticism, authored by Paul McCarthy. Let's get started. To begin, I'm going to need to take a look at my article, and I'm going to zoom in here for you in just a moment so that you can see the information just a little bit better. If we take a look at this article, we're going to see that it's from a reference source, Contemporary Literary Criticism. We're going to now enter this information into NoodleTools so that we can correctly cite the source. To do so, let's toggle over to our NoodleTools account, and we're going to begin by choosing the Online Database option in our drop-down menu from the Works Cited wizard. I'm going to select Online Database, and I'm going to click Create Citation. NoodleTools is going to ask me, is this content original and only housed in this database, never appearing in another print, publication, or medium? Or has it been produced elsewhere, and if so, in what format? This particular resource is a reference book. So, in NoodleTools, we are going to choose Reference Source. If your screen happens to fog over, as mine has, you can simply hit a refresh, or you can hit the control plus sign or control minus sign to zoom in or out to clear the fogginess, if you will, on your screen. Once you've selected Reference Source, then you're going to press Next to move to the next step in the menu. We're now going to be prompted to tell a little bit more about the source. For this information source, we're going to leave it at encyclopedia, because that's what it is, and we're also going to leave it as a single article that we're citing. The last question is going to ask us, has this material been duplicated from a printed work? And in this case, the answer will be yes, and we're going to try to provide as much original print publication information as possible. We're then going to press Next. We're now ready to begin entering information from this information resource, this reference source. So the first thing we have to identify is the author of the article. If we take a look at Gale LRC, they've given us some clues for this bibliographic information. If we take a look right here next to the word author is the name of the author that we indeed need to put into this field. Again, if your screen fogs over or the text starts to jumble, then you can simply hit Control plus or Control minus to correct that issue. I'm now going to copy and paste this information into the appropriate field boxes. If you find it easier to simply type rather than copy and paste, please feel free to do that. Be sure to press the Add button to make the name stick. We now need to locate the title of the article, and again, Gale is giving us a visual cue to locate that. Look for the text that says title, and to the right of that will be the title of the reference article. I'm going to simply paste that in. And now I need to find the name of the reference book or the ebook that this is coming from. If we look next, a few lines below, next to the text that says source, the first piece of information that's italicized and underlined is going to be the title of our reference book, and this will indeed be Contemporary Literary Criticism. So again, you can copy and paste that, or you can simply type it. Now I'm going to need to provide a little more information about this information source in its original print format. One thing to be aware of when you're working with Gale Literature Resource Center is that oftentimes you may see two layers of print publication. The one that we need to be focused on is the print publication information that's housed next to the text that says source. Originally, this piece of work appeared in a standalone book. However, with permission, it was reproduced in the reference book, Contemporary Literary Criticism. For us, it's not necessary to drill 2 to 3 layers deep into the original print publication. We will simply add the information that's to the right of the text that says source. So, I'm going to take a look now and see what page numbers are provided, if any. In this case, no page numbers are given, so I have to leave that field blank. I'm now going to enter the name of the editor. The name of the editor, if there is one present, will come after the abbreviation ED. Again, you can type, or if you find it easier to copy and paste, then you can go with the option that works best for you. If you accidentally grab too much text, you can always copy and paste that out. We do not need to include the abbreviation ED. Please omit that. For the middle initial, please be sure to include the period following the initial. And then be sure to put the last name into the last name field. Once you've cleaned up that formatting, press Add to make the editor's name stick. Now we want to look for addition and or volume number. If an addition is present, it will be lowercase ed followed by a number. In this instance, there is no addition, so I now can look for the abbreviation VOL for the volume number. For this resource, it's going to be volume 21. I recommend simply typing that number in. For us as ninth graders, we are not going to indicate the total number of volumes. There is no series name or number for us to be concerned about in this source, and we now can start winding down the citation production of this source. We now need to look for the city, publisher, and copyright year. That typically will follow the volume number. For us, our city will be Detroit, the publisher will be Gale Research, and the publication year will be 1982. So I'm going to enter that information. Again, you may find it easier to type, but please feel free to copy and paste if needed. Again, if you need to double check, toggle back over and get the correct information. We are obviously in Gale Literature Resource Center, but the name of the database is confirmed at the end of the source line where it says from. So I'm now going to type that in. And you'll notice that as I start to type, and when I get to the second word, resource, it will pop up our options, and we are going to go with the first one. The last thing that we need to do now is to get the correct URL to that resource. You could click on the pop-up window for bookmark this document, but if you're working in our school environment or even at home, you may find it easier simply to go to the bottom of the article, find the document URL, and you can either highlight and copy that link, or if you're an Internet Explorer, you can right-click and you can choose Copy Shortcut. This will get you the link that you need. We are going to leave the most recent date of access at today. The rest of the fields will not apply to this information source. If you choose to check for errors, this will only check for MLA style citation issues, not your typing mistakes or spelling errors. Otherwise, you may now go ahead and generate the citation. It will automatically be placed into your works cited list and saved into your account. Thank you so much for watching our video tutorial on citing this information source from Contemporary Literary Criticism in NoodleTools.